Yes.
Okay, so let's start on part. We're gonna start on our seat. Let's start on our seat.
Is anybody online?
No, Jeanette's gonna join.
Oh, is this waiting for us? Listen to us talk.
No. All right, so let's move the fluff out from underneath our bottom to really root us in. So we're working with our root chakra today. So let's take a moment to kind of just move our body around and let our bodies land. Just kind of wiggle a little side to side, maybe a little forward and back motion. And as you're doing that, just let your eyes even kind of move around the space to let your eyes orient to the space that we're in this night. And then when it feels right, just let the eyes start to soften down. Let the body start to move into some stillness. And as the body moves to stillness with the head, heart, and hips aligned, let's begin to draw the shoulders up to our ears. And as we exhale, let out the exhale out through the mouth, letting go of the day. Let the shoulders exhale down and back. Let's do that 2 more times, drawing in and up. Exhale out the mouth, shoulders soften down and back. Let out some sound even if you'd like. Drawing in last time. And then let everything melt and soften as you exhale out. So if you need to take a few more exhales through the mouth, go ahead. But when you're ready, begin to direct the breath in and out through the nose, filling the belly with the inhale, feeling it expand. Softening the belly on the exhale, letting it contract. Now just become aware of your body's position here in space. Become aware of how we're shifting into the fall season. The weather is shifting, the leaves are dropping and changing. As a reminder that we are always changing, and letting go, whether we recognize it or not. So the fall is a beautiful time for us to begin to harvest our seeds from the year, physically out in nature, but as well as our seeds of our life. Harvesting our seeds so that we can reflect upon them as we move inward and move into hibernation. So as you maybe can focus your awareness on the red colors that you're starting to see pop out in nature, just bringing your awareness. Let's start at the top of the head and let it just bring your body here, but let your awareness drop down the body, just softening everything on your way down. And if you come across anything that might be holding, or maybe it feels like an empty space, begin to invite your breath to soften or to fill the space. So let's take 4 or 5 more breaths, descending down our body, softening our body, filling our body with more of ourselves. And as you take these next few breaths, just letting that exhale just blow away the day and anything that led up to this moment to be here now. The only true moment that there is the eternal now. And even if the yawns come, letting yourself expand in the yawn, taking this moment to be here now. This evening, we're working with the root chakra, the Muladhara chakra. So the color here is red. So imagine at the base, they say the tailbone, but it's technically the perineum, the space between the vagina and the anus. Let's bring our awareness to that space. And maybe you can imagine that you're picking up blueberries. I know, but that we're picking up blueberries to tighten through that space. space. Words. And just bringing even more awareness down. And maybe you can imagine as you root down and pick up those blueberries, imagine you're plugging in a 3-pronged plug into the earth that is connecting you to the earth, that is connecting your root crown chakra to the earth. Imagine it's sending down energetic roots connecting you, as well as drawing in the nourishment below you. Now from this space, begin to imagine a beautiful red 4-petal lotus flower. And in the center of that lotus flower is a square that is anchoring us to the 4 directions. So that we're holding the north, east, south, and west, and everything in between. The element here is earth. The space of our root chakra represents our survival, our tribal connections to our family and to the earth. The wound here is if we're insecure, we're fearful, there's no sense of belonging or vitality for life. And our purpose here is to feel safe and to trust ourselves to be ourselves. The color is red. The element is earth. Represents our survival, our base needs. And the purpose is to feel safe and to trust ourselves to be ourselves. There's no other version of us. So let's take in all of that in through our root space, knowing that we are safe, that we belong. Let's invite in our intention as we drink that in from the root space, the root crown space, the earth crown. Maybe imagine that 4-petal lotus flower opening and expanding and blossoming as you bring your awareness there. Perhaps begin to call in your mantra or your intention for our class this evening. Mantra I will return to, it is my right to trust myself. It is my right to trust myself. Or maybe simplified even further, I trust myself. So as we hold all of that, if our hands are facing up, we're going to turn them down to touch our thighs. If your legs are long, you might need to go to butterfly pose or maybe stay there. We're going to do a little circling through our torso. So if you might want to sit on blocks too, that's an option. So begin to circle your torso all the way around, feeling your seat bones continuing to anchor you here, continuing to hold the color red. And allow that color red to be stirred and moved up through your being. To harness the safety and trust throughout our being. So going around, letting the heart come forward as you come forward, shoulders move back as you come forward, and then let the back body come towards the back as you move back. Feel a rounding through the spine as you go back. So go around one more time, and as you come back, take that moment to pause, just gaze down at your legs. You can pause and look down, and then gently reverse your direction. Continuing to stir that pot going the other way, noticing any shifts as you reverse. Stirring in our emotional hip space, that it is my right to trust myself. Put in all the ingredients of safety and trust into your pot. so that they are always there in the cauldron when you need them. So last time around, and then make your way back to the top. And then we're going to switch our cross. So whichever leg is in front, go ahead and switch it. Then we're going to switch our movement. Let's go ahead, bring our hands off to the side. Let's turn the right palm up to the sky, reach it high, and then gently lean over and maybe start to gaze down. And as you gaze down, feel your fingers spread wide, planting you even deeper down into the earth connection. Now glue that right hip down. And now feel the space moving from the hip ring all the way up the side body, out through the fingertips. Feel the breath expanding those spaces. Feel the red burning brighter. And now let that inhale bring you high, coming up to the sky with both hands. And now exhale, let the right hand meet the earth, let the left hand reach over as you now glue the left hip down. Spreading the finger wide again on the earth. Breathing in that connection. Let your breath fill the body and expand all the spaces. And now let that next inhale bring you high. Inhale, rise. Exhale, let the hands come down in front of you as you paint the canvas and begin to fold forward and down. Let the body melt forward and down wherever you can go. Maybe your hands can come down, your forearms, maybe elbows. Use your blocks if you need. And you can add a little drift and wander if you want. Let your body rock if that feels good. Maybe let your head shake no, let your head shake yes, if that would feel good. As we're surrendered here forward, humbled down to the earth, let's breathe in. I trust myself. Even if it's we trust ourselves to listen to our bodies. And take another little drift side to side movement with the head. And then let your body, your head come back to the center. Walk your hands back in space. And then we're going to go ahead, send our legs long. Block is reading my mind. Send our legs long. Let's bounce out those knees a few times. We start to feel our legs here in space. And then let's draw our hands alongside of our hips. Flex through the feet. Press our palms into the earth. Now you can soften your gaze here and press the palms in as we're in our staff pose. So this is like when we're in our standing back, backward or standing upward back extension, that L-shaped position. So just see how it feels with yourselves completely rooted and into this space. Keep pressing through the palms, feel the connection. I trust myself. So now let the knees be soft. Begin to soften the back body. Walk your hands forward as you fold forward. Let the head melt down towards the knees. Continue to feel the connection as you feel the lengthening through the back of the legs, letting the exhale just lengthen out the legs even just a little bit. It is my right to trust myself. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. And then gently begin to rise as we ground down to rise up, roll up with the head, stack it last. And now let's draw in that right foot, right knee. So we're going to draw that knee in. We're going to keep it right there. And then we're going to reach that left arm out to the side. And let's wrap it around that right knee. Now reach that right hand up to the sky and drop it down like a kickstand behind you. We do that to create the length. Now let's bring our awareness into the left foot. Flex the foot. Press the heel towards the middle of the room. Breathe here as you feel the belly press into the thigh. It is my right to speak to trust myself. So now let's slowly begin to unwind, return forward, and let's draw that left knee in. So we have both knees hugging in. You might need to walk your feet out a little bit more. I know I do. And then we're going to go ahead and reach our arms out to the side and wrap our arms around our knees, hug ourselves, love ourselves, let your head fold down towards the knees. It may or may not reach. And now just breathe here as you hold your whole self here, honoring all of you that has arrived here tonight. Reminding yourself that you are safe. You are safe to trust yourself to be yourself. Now begin to slowly roll the head up, unfold the arms. We're going to lengthen out that right leg, and then we'll draw that left foot in a little bit closer. And now let's reach that right arm off to the side, wrap it around the knee, and now reach that left hand up to the sky, drop it down behind you like a kickstand, and look back. And as you look back, feel the belly pressing into the thighs. You breathe slow and deep. I trust myself. Now bring awareness to the right foot, flexing through the foot, expanding the toes. Letting yourself be firmly rooted in so that you can rise up. Take one more inhale and then exhale here. Take another inhale to draw you taller. And then exhale, unwind, return forward. We're going to bend both knees again, but bring them out in front of us. So walk both feet out. So now we're going to move into our boat pose. So we're going to hold on to the back of our thighs. We're going to keep our tall spine and then just hinge back, lean back, nice flat back, maybe on one foot, both feet. You decide. You can do 1 foot at a time. Keep the navel in, keep the heart reaching towards the knees. Keep the shoulders back. Now decide if you want to release the arms or not. Decide if you want to do a tap down with each toe. Just tapping 1 foot down at a time. Just adding on. No need to ever do anything if it's not for you. The moment your back starts to bend, I invite you to come down. You got to have that core engaged the whole time. Do your blocks today?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, if not, I got some. I'll give you mine. Last ones, and then let the feet come down, let the knees fall open as the soles of the feet come together. Good job listening to your body. So we're going to sit tall again, and then exhale, hinge forward, lead with our heart, hinge from the hips, keep a flat back if you can, just for a breath or two, as you feel the hips widening, opening, feel the low back, feel the hips grounding and rooting you here. And now soften, let the body soften forward, melt forward, head folds down. You can even utilize those elbows to press into the thighs if you want to go even deeper. So just like the center of the 4-petal lotus flower, we're creating almost that square or diamond in the center, anchoring us to the 4 directions. Letting the north, the east, the south, and the west hold us in our practice. And then let that next inhale slowly roll your body back up. Take your time. We're going to draw our knees up. However you wish to get to your knees, you can cross your ankles and press yourself forward, or you can roll off to one side. If it would feel better, you don't have to be on your knees. You can maybe go to your belly and do a little mini cobra. So let's go through our cat-cow. So let's first check on our hands, bring our hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, spread the knees a little bit. And now let's move through the spine, up and down. Let the body move up and down. And as you do, imagine that red ball of energy from your root space flowing up and down the spine as you have that fluidity with your breath moving the body. It is my right to trust myself. So let's do just 2 more times up and down with the spine. And then begin to move into your nice neutral flat back. We're going to walk our hands forward, at least one hand, but probably more. We're going to come into that kneeling plank. We're going to do some push-ups here. You don't have to if you want to come down to your belly. So the important thing here is our index fingers are forward. We're going to hug the elbows to the body as we lower our heart down and then back up. So let's just do maybe 5, maybe 8 push-ups, whatever feels good for you. And when you feel complete, come back down to your belly. Maybe take that moment to hover above the earth. So maybe that last one, maybe you hover or not, take your time. And then lower all the way down. Walk your body back if you need to. And then keep your hands there under the shoulders, next to the chest. We're going to just lift up our heart, lift up our gaze, look down at the earth, hug the elbows in. Feel the toes reaching for the back edge of the mat. Feel the low back engaging here to lift your heart, lift your head. And now exhale, tuck the chin, lower the forehead to the earth. And now let's come up again and decide if we're going to add on. So let's first start by lifting the heart, lifting the head. Maybe add on by just lifting the palms with just the fingertips touching. Maybe go further by lifting the hands off of the earth, really utilizing the low back. Working on trusting yourself. So listen to your body so that you can build the trust. Lower the hands first, then tuck the chin, lower the forehead second. So now we're going to come into that mini cobra by drawing our elbows underneath our shoulders. So take your time to draw your elbows underneath your shoulders. So now the elbows are right there and your arms are making the number 11. Let the glutes relax. And then, let's look back over one shoulder at a time. Looking back, exhale. Inhale forward. I trust myself. Exhale, look back. Let's do that one more time each way and let your breath be your guide. So now make your way when you're done, finish up, make your way back to the center, walk your hands back, lower the forehead down. Let's pause for just a moment as the forehead is on the earth, the chin is tucked. Return the spine to neutral and pause and be here as the elbows are hugging into the body. So we're going to be moving back to child's pose. So find a version that might work for you. So when you're ready, press through the palms, lift the body, sink the hips back when you're ready. Let the forehead come to the earth, and if it doesn't reach, bring a block beneath it. Continue to visualize that red ball of energy moving up the body, through the crown, and then back down again. Bringing that sense of trust through our entire chakra system. So now really plant in your hands. Expand the fingers as wide as you can, like a starfish. Turn the index fingers forward. And then let's inhale, coming on up to our hands and knees. Keep your hands there or walk one hand forward if you need. Flex the feet, lift the knees. Keep the knees bent as you lift the hips. Find your downward dog. And then feel the belly pressing back to the thighs. You can feel it too with your breath. And then slowly begin to walk your dog. So begin to pedal out the heels one at a time. Let one knee be bent, the other heel comes down. As you walk your dog, bring awareness into your hands. Pressing through the index finger, thumb side of the palm. Now feeling the armpits as if they're reaching towards the earth as the shoulders plug down and back. Now bring your awareness into the ribs. Gently pull in the bottom low ribs. And then feeling your tail reaching to the sky. Connecting your earth crown chakra to the sky. Bringing the earth and the sky together to meet in your body. You can shake your head out a little here if that is needed to. So now we're going to really begin to bend our knees. Really take a nice soft bend in the knees. Generously bend those knees. Let's begin to walk our hands back in space so we come into our forward fold. Let the heels come to the earth as your hands walk back. Keep the knees bent. And now just begin to drift and wander. Maybe just let your body rock. Maybe wrap the hands on the elbows and let the body rock and allow a little more gravity to work. Feel the hips supporting you here. Feel the feet rooted in. Feel yourself grounding in. So now find stillness as you bring your body back to the center. Unwrap the hands from the elbows and let's find our active back extension. Just like we practiced with staff pose seated, let's inhale, fingertips come up to the shins, plug into the shins, L-shaped body. Notice how different it feels here with our feet rooted in rather than our hips. So now bring some softness to the knees as you draw your hands to the hips, elbows to the sky. Inhale, rise up, roll up, head comes up, and then hands come up to the sky. Look high, draw the pinkies together, upward hand salute. So mini back bend, just gently lean back, hips shine forward, gaze looks up. Now exhale, lower the hands down, gaze down, bring the hands to the hips. So now we want to keep our hips square with the front of our mat. We're going to inhale, rise, and we're going to revolve to the right. So let the hands revolve as the hips square forward. Let your hands wrap around your body. Embrace the trust you have for yourself. And now rise up, reach high to the sky, and then revolve the other way. Let the hands soften down. Keep the hips shining forward. And now inhale, rise, as we're grounded in, rise up, hands come together and meet at the heart space. So now let's soften our gaze. We're going to take our mindful stroll forward as we walk heel, toe, one foot at a time with a mindful step, feeling the totality of our foot from the back to the front. Let your body feel when you come to the edge of your mat. You can back up and take that step back. So once you get there, let's feel our feet root in. So rock a little forward and back. Keep the gaze soft for now so that you can really keep the awareness in your feet. So now feel the feet root in. Feel the four corners anchor you and then lift the toes. Spread them as wide as you can. Lift them high and now plant them in one at a time. And as the toes plant in, let's just be here. We're going to do that little cross shape with our body, just shifting our body weight forward. So start by shifting gently forward, keeping your four corners anchored, and then back to your center point. Now shift right as you shift your body over to the right. Center, go back. Center, go left. Center, let's go back forward and reverse direction. So we're gonna go forward, center, left. Center, back. Center, and then right. Center, stay here once you make it back, your way back. Let's inhale, rise up, swan dive forward, fold forward. Let your body be in your forward fold as you walk your blocks in, outside edge of your feet, if you're using them. You don't have to have them, but if you're using them. So once we're there, let's just wag our tail a little bit, letting our hands be supported by the blocks as we wag our tail, letting one leg get longer and then the other. So now keep feeling the feet rooted in here. We're going to take that right foot, we're going to step it on back. So let's take a step back, wiggle the feet back there, and then walk your blocks back so that they stay right underneath the shoulders. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to either keep our hand on the block or bring that right hand underneath the heart. And then inhale up with the left arm, reach it high to the sky. Feel yourself spreading all directions. Now feel the active energy in the rear leg, send the energy out the heel. And now slowly exhale, return the left hand down to the block or the earth, and then the right hand returns. We're gonna go the other way. So now keep the left hand on the block or bring it to the earth in the fist position, and then lift the right hand up. I trust myself. And then lower the right hand down, returning the hands to the blocks. And now we're going to come up a little bit higher. So perhaps you come to that higher setting with the blocks. That's option one. You can come up even higher to the thighs. That feels good. Try to keep those hips shining forward to the best of our ability. And then maybe come up to the sky with the arms if you can. Optional always. Breathe here. Feel that energy through the rear leg. Now let's bring our hands to our heart or to the blocks. Great job. We're going to revolve again. If our hands are here, we're going to revolve or keep the hand on the earth. And then maybe the elbow comes down, maybe not. You decide if you want to go deeper. Good job listening. So proud of you for listening and trusting your body. Come out as you need. There's never any need to force anything. So now if the elbow's down, draw it up, return back forward, bring your hands down to the earth or blocks. Now exhale, extend the front leg, let the head fold forward and down. And now feel the right hip drawing forward, left hip drawing back as you hug through your hips. So now softening through the front knee, slowly inhale, rebend the front knee, stack it over the ankle. Now pivot that rear foot. Getting ready to cartwheel up with our arms. So starting with the right arm, cartwheel up, engaging the core, come up into your warrior two. And when we take even a week off, our bodies feel it. So now turn your palms up, looking forward in space. It is my right to trust myself. Slowly turn the palms back down. We're going to find our reverse triangle. So anchor the rear hand to the thigh. Reach the front hand to the sky as you extend the front leg. So imagine that red ball of energy now traveling out through your fingertips. It stays with you, but it continues to expand beyond you. So now as you exhale, draw the arms to the letter T. Keep your legs long. Let's move to triangle. Reach out from our hip. Find our support on our shin or perhaps the block behind our calf. Both are great options. And now turn the bottom ribs, the low ribs closest to the thigh, up to the sky a little bit more. That top hand can stay there or fold down and back. Getting an anterior delt release, let the back palm reach for the low back. Feel the rear foot anchor in, breathe here. And now with the rear arms folded down, let's reach it back up. Ooh, I lost my balance. And now let's take our inhale, rise up. Let's sink into warrior two, breathe here. Find your breath, find your balance. We're gonna take that cartwheel back. When you're ready, take your hands, cartwheel them forward and down to frame the front foot. Keep your legs as they are. Exhale, extend the front leg even just a little bit. Let the head fold forward and down. So now soften and bend the front knee. Let's pivot that rear knee. We're gonna take our time to lower that knee. So if you need some support, here's a great place to add that blanket or towel. And now decide if you wanna come up even higher. So maybe it's just your fingertips. Maybe it's up even higher to the thigh or to the sky. Wherever you are, soften the shoulders down as if they're being pulled down. Let the blades be pulled into their sockets. So now maybe bring your arms to the letter T, feeling our body being expanded in all four directions. You have the option to stay here. This might challenge the balance. We're going to revolve, keeping our arms long, revolve towards that left knee. Come back forward and center, revolve the other way. Not going to go quite as far, I know. Now come back forward, arms out to the letter T one more time. Exhale, lower the hands to the earth, connect to the earth, and then exhale again, sink your hips back, whatever degree, lengthen out the leg. Decide if you want to turn the toes up by flexing the foot. Once again, right hip draws forward, left hip draws back. One more breath here, feeling the elongation through the hamstring. Let's take our inhale to shift forward, walk forward with the hands. We're going to heel toe that left foot over in front of the right knee, so we're on our balance beam. And then exhale again, sink your hips back. Once again, you can flex the front foot and decide if you're going to turn the toes out. You're just turning them out to the left. And then if the toes are turned out, turn them back up, shift the weight forward. We're going to stay here, and we're going to heel toe the left foot even further over, and then let the knee come down. So we're preparing for pigeon pose. So now walk your hands in front of the shin. We're going to walk that knee back. So you might need to walk that left knee back, or right knee back, my bad, for the wrong side. So now you can stay upright or come down. And pigeon, if it doesn't feel good on the knee, you can always come to your back. So you always have the option to do the other version that might be more suited for you. So now let your head be held by a block or the earth or your hands. Feel free to add a block underneath that left hip if you need some support to make your hips become more neutral and level. Now let the rhythm of your breath just move through the body to soothe the body, to send the red ball of energy down into those tight, sticky spaces so the warmth of the red ball of energy can soothe and soften those spaces. Let's just be here for another 3 breaths. It is my right to trust myself. Let's start to come back to our elbows, stay on our forearms for just a breath. We're gonna just slowly peel ourselves up. And then when you're ready, come to your hands. So once you're at your hands, let's walk our hands around that left knee and look over our left shoulder, looking back, just to the back edge of our mat or towards it. And then walk back forward, spread your hands. So we're gonna do our, it's called king pigeon, but I call it queen pigeon. So you're gonna come and bend that right knee and reach for the foot. If that's not for you, roll to the left side and reach for the right foot. That's always a good option too. So both work. And you might have to move that left hand a little more to the center. I'm going to say that too. So just breathe here. We're trying to release through the quad space. And if that's too intense on the knee, roll off to the other side. Roll off to the left side. That way you can get that quad stretch without hurting yourself. One more breath here. Really sending all of that breath through the quad. And then let the exhale lower down the right foot. Spread your hands again wide. Let's go ahead, bend that right foot, lifting up the knees. Step the left foot back, find your downward dog if you can, or go to child's pose in between. This time we're gonna step, we're gonna hop, we're gonna walk forward into our forward fold. So however we choose to get there, let's be there. And once we're in our forward fold, let's hang there again. Wander a little, rock a little, whatever you need. Cough a little. Getting your feet so they're about hip distance apart, which is about 2 fists together at the thumb side. That's about 2 fists width apart is hip distance. So now start to find stillness. Bring your body back to the center. Take your inhale, draw your fingertips up to the shins, pull the shins up as you find your L-shaped body, back to back extension. So you can either bring your hands to your hips as you bend the knees, or bend the knees, draw your arms to the letter T, feel the core engage and breathe. Inhale, rise, reach high to the sky, upward back or upward hand salute. Hands, pinkies come together, gentle, lean back, look back. Now let the hands melt down to the heart space. Do that little rock forward and back to anchor you here. And if you need to, step a little forward on your mat so that you're more towards the front edge of your mat. And then once you find your center position, let's still our feet, anchor the 4 corners in, lift the toes again. Try to lower the toes one at a time. And now let's take our inhale, rise. Exhale, swan dive, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, lower the hands down to the earth or blocks. Train your feet with the blocks. And let's step back with the left foot now. Take your step back with the left foot, wiggle it back so you're in that lunge position. All right, beautiful. So now we get to experiment here. Maybe we stay, no, we're gonna start by revolving. So let's start by bringing either the left hand on the block or just the left hand under the shoulder. Inhale, lift up the right hand. Expand from the earth to the sky. We ground down to rise up. Now exhale, lower that right hand down. You can keep it on the block or not. Lift the left hand up, revolve the other way. I know it challenges our balance because we're doing something different. And now exhale, lower the hands down to the blocks. Now we're going to come up. So maybe you just come to that high setting with the blocks. It's beautiful. That can be where you stay. Keep that active energy out the rear heel. And then maybe come to the fingertips. Maybe come up to the thigh. Maybe come up to the sky. So we're going to practice revolving again, just like we did on the other side. So either bring the left hand to the block or not. Bring your hands to the heart is option. Another option. Now maybe revolve towards that right knee, stay high, or go low by bringing the elbow to the outer thigh. See if you can release any gripping through the toes. Because if we're gripping one place, we're gripping all places. So let's release any gripping. Now let's slowly begin to lift our elbow, return back forward, lower the hands down once you get there. And then exhale, extend the front leg, pyramid pose, head folds down. Left hip draws forward, right hip draws back as you hug the hips in. It is my right to trust myself. So now as we inhale, rebend and soften the front knee. We're going to slowly pivot the rear foot. So now we're ready for our warrior two. Getting ready to cartwheel up, beginning with the left arm. Reverse cartwheel up with the arms, warrior two. Just check the front knee. I know it wants to sag in, draw it out. So towards the pinky toe. Watch the balance. And now turn the palms up so we can soften the shoulders down. Turning them back, the hands back down. Let's lower the left hand to the thigh, anchor it in. Inhale, reverse triangle, extend the front leg as the front hand reaches up to the sky. Harness that red ball of energy at the root. Let it move up through the body, out through the fingertips. I am safe to trust myself, to be myself. And now as we exhale, bring your arms to the letter T, keep your legs long. Let's reach out from our hip as we move to triangle, find your support, shin, block behind the calf. This side might need something different, so honor that too. And then decide if your top hand wants to stay there, or if you want to get that anterior delt, bend the elbow, bring the back palm to the low back. Just like before, gently turn those bottom ribs, the low ribs gently up to the sky, just to open the heart a little bit more. And now let's re-lengthen up that top arm. Inhale, engage the core, draw your body up, sinking back to our final warrior two. Beautiful job. Now begin to cartwheel the hands down, framing the front leg. Keep your feet as they are. Lower the blocks to that maybe medium setting now. And then exhale, extend the front leg, head folds forward and down. Now as you inhale, really soften, bend the front knee, then pivot the rear foot. So now both feet are shining forward. We're going to slowly exhale, lower the rear knee. Once again, add your padding here. Add whatever support you need. Yes, it's there for you. So now maybe come to that higher setting with the blocks. Decide if that might be good enough here to stay here. That's beautiful. If you wish to come higher, you always can. You will come to the thigh and then maybe up to the sky. Softening the shoulders down if the hands are high. And exhale, lower the palms, reach out to the letter T. We're going to do that revolve one more time. So first revolve towards the right knee, keeping your arms long. Spreading yourself all directions. Inhale, center, come forward, keep your arms long, out to the T. Now revolve the other way. Breathe. Now come back center, one more breath. Exhale, lower the hands down. You can go to the lower setting. And then exhale again, sink your hips back, lengthen out the front leg. Walk your hands back under the shoulders. Decide if you want to flex the front foot as you turn the toes up. Good job listening. Feel the left hip draw forward, right hip draw back. On your next inhalation, shift forward, walk forward with your hands. Let's heel toe that right foot over into alignment in front of the left foot. Walk your hands so they stay under your shoulders. Now, once again, sink your hips back, walk your hands back. Maybe flex the front foot. Decide if you want to turn the toes out to the right. That gets into that IT band there on the outside of the thigh. Breathe into that tight, sticky space. Now, if the toes are turned out, turn them back up. Slowly shift your weight forward, keep your foot there. We're gonna heel toe that right foot over to the left edge. You can walk your hands forward and then gently set down the calf. You're like, okay, that's right. And then you might need to flex that left foot and walk that knee back so that you're resting above the kneecap. Make that adjustment there. And now once you feel good, maybe you had a block underneath that right hip or not. And then maybe you come down. Take your time. Start on the elbows. See if you want to go even further down. Use the block to support your head if you need that. Let your head find support too. So drawing in, breathing in that red ball of energy from the root space. Let it be warm. Harnessing the energy in the core of the earth to warm that root chakra. Now let that warmth from the core of the earth move into the hip space. And soften it. Purpose here is to feel safe. Trust ourselves to be ourselves. Let's be here for just a couple more breaths. And make your way back. So just start maybe coming to your forearms. And when you're ready, come to your hands. Take your time. You may need to remove the block, but you might be okay keeping it there. Let's walk our hands around that right knee now. Looking back over the right shoulder. Just looking back in space. And then gently come back forward. And then we're going to bring that right hand underneath the heart space or in the center, and then bend the left knee, reach back for the left foot, or rock off to the right hip, take that block out, and then reach back for the left foot. So coming off to the side is a beautiful option too. That way we are safe with our knee and we can get that quad stretch, both and. That's the world I live in, both and. We can have both. We can have our cake and ice cream. Breathe into the front of the quad, feeling those big, strong muscles relax, release. and soften. And then release the foot. We're gonna rock off this time to the side. So just rock up, draw your leg forward. Take your time. We'll come into our nice seated position. We'll leave our blocks there at the front of the mat. Let's hold on to the back of the thighs. And we're gonna roll down as slow and controlled as we can. So slowly roll down. If you wanna do your bow pose to roll down, go ahead. You guys always know the actions. But try to get there as slow as you can, vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you get there, lengthen out the whole body. Send the arms overhead, send the feet away, spread the fingers, spread the toes. And now slowly draw the knees in. So bend the knees, draw them into the chest, begin to rock side to side, circle the knees, get your happy baby in. Notice how the hips are now. Get that last back body relax. Let's just get one final revolve in before we move to Shavasana. So begin to draw the knees in, depending on where you are, bring them into the center. Open your arms out to the letter T. When you're ready, exhale, let the knees fall right. Take your time as they fall to the right, let the gaze gently fall open to the left. Breathe here. It is my right to trust myself. Let your shoulder blades anchor you here or move towards the earth to bring you into an anchored place. Now as you inhale, let the gaze come up, and let the knees come up, engaging the core. Exhale, let the knees fall left, gently over left, and as they get there, go look right. Let the gaze open right. Let the breath fill your body. And with that inhale, bring your gaze up, draw the knees up. Let's pull everything into a nice tight ball. Pulling into that right red tight ball of energy that we are embodying today in the root chakra, knowing that we are safe to trust ourselves, to be ourselves. And now let's expand into our fullest expression. Expand your body and find a comfortable resting position. A position that embodies feeling safe and trusting yourself wholly and fully. You can only do it right. So now as you rest, you may just come around and move your feet around to relax the hips down to anchor you further here. Don't need to help me, just let me do the lifting and the rocking. As you feel your whole body land down, perhaps you can envision your root, the tailbone now, that's connecting to the earth. Imagine that the roots that you planted deep are still going even deeper, all the way to the core of the earth, harnessing the energy from the core of the earth, that fiery energy. As we are approaching the Aries full moon, that is a fire energy. And as you draw in that fiery energy, let it dissipate and transform any insecurity, any lack of belonging, any lack of connection. Begin to breathe in safety, security, connection. The ability to trust yourself. Now let that vibration move through your being. As that red ball of energy moves wherever it's needed in your body and being. as you find stillness. With our next inhalation, let's breathe in a full belly breath, filling our lungs completely. Exhaling, softening even more. Let's take 2 more breaths like that, sealing in our class and our practice. Breathing in, I trust all of me. So now maybe bring some gentle movement back into the space. Start with your far extremities and work your way up. I trust all of me unconditionally. When it feels right, you can just maybe draw your knees in or just roll to one side. Maybe find that fetus position on the side that you chose. Let your arm on the bottom rest your head. Let the arm on the top rest in front of your heart. So we connect the wisdom of our hearts to our mind, to the earth. Let's slowly press through the front hand, the top hand, pressing our way up to seated so we can find a nice seated position, whatever that might be for ourselves. And once we found that seated position, we'll just gently let our fingertips come out to the sides. So let's envision that red lotus flower again blossoming with 4 petals. Turn your palms up to the sky. Feel the 4 directions being met. Inhale, imagine that red aura surrounding you now. Draw the hands together. I trust myself unconditionally. Now melt them down in front of the mind, drawing in the trust into our thoughts. In front of the lips, drawing the trust into our words. And now in front of the heart, bringing that trust into our hearts, that we trust ourselves fully. Now bow in reverence and honor of the light inside of you, and balancing out the root chakra. So from my heart to your heart, I'm wishing you guys a blessed week and a beautiful full moon. And namaste. Namaste. Thank you guys. Thank you all.